Yeah, so good morning. Today we are here in the permafood forest in Casamance, Senegal. So I will show you a bit the part that we are beginning here with the raised beds, and then I will show you a bit how it develops in a few years. So we started this area here in the rainy season. And so basically this is our raised beds, and you can see that it's already started to decompose. So it's decomposing pretty well. So basically what we take is a lot of organic matter. We have the stronger woods on the outside here of the beds to hold the beds. And then we have the smaller woods inside, and eventually we mix it with some manure. In our case we use fish because we are in Kafountine, around Kafountine area, which has a lot of fish waste. So we take the fish powder, we mix it, and this is what eventually starts to decompose our beds here. So you can see the matter is pretty good. You can see the presence of mycelium. So the internet connection is here. You can see all this wood around with the white parts here. This is the mycelium that is getting installed. So the beds are now ready to plant. This has been about 3 to 4 months since we've prepared the beds. We've introduced our legume plants. So this is pigeon pea, the cajanus. So this, we have it all over the beds. This is the first thing that we introduce for fixing nitrogen. And then we dig in these holes 2 meter distance. So we have this 2 meter, so like this it's easy to calculate when we want to plant. We can just see every 2 meters, and like this we can easily calculate the distance so that we introduce into the trees. So this is a new area that is going to be planted today. I can later show you the different nurseries and the plants that we will introduce. And we can go here now and see the older parts that are about 2 years old. So you will see more or less how this will become in about 2 years, 1 to 2 years. So let's have a quick walk around. Yeah. So all the solar irrigation here, so all these solar panels are basically for a solar pump. So everything is directly, it's sunlight. So just solar pumps, as we are in Senegal, a lot of sun. So we get water directly from a borehole, and we do it all in solar. Here we can see some volunteers, they are working. They are picking up the different ananas, pineapple plants that we introduce inside with the bananas. So basically these are shade tolerant pineapples, so it's perfect to mix into the banana fields. And there you can see some Artemisia annua that we are preparing. And we have a big selection, a wide selection of trees to make our food forest. So there is a Annona muricata, there is a avocado, there is sapoti, there is guava. So a big variety of different trees that we are now planting as the beds are ready. And here on this side you can see, well, 2 years in, how it looks. So on one side we have a kind of a banana field, but as we are doing permaculture, it's always mixed with a lot of different cultures. And here you can even see we introduce a lot of medicinal plants like the damiana, but also because of the flowers and the odors. So all this is protecting the garden against invasions, against pests, everything. So you can see there's a lot of diversity. We can see the calabash tree here, some ornamental. We have the doctor, the Vernonia migdalina. We have the pigeon pea, the cajanus. We have a vertical layer of passion fruit and different beans. We have coconuts. We have the Tithonia diversifolia, this that we use for the chop and drop system, and we use it also to feed the land and the chickens and etc. Then you have Moringa oleifera, you have oranges, you have carambol, you have a big system of with a lot of variety of plants. And this is why we call this the perma-food forest, because basically it's a food forest that we do with a lot of variety. So yeah, you can have a quick walk around. And remember, 2 years ago there was nothing here, so now we are walking inside the bush. So basically, yeah, we have a whole area here. Here we do some insecticides, some natural insecticides with how do you say, basically just the doctors and citronelle and stuff like this that we can pump We also do compost tea. Here you can see the Cassia alata. This is medicinal plant. You can see the Terminalia catapa. It's a nut tree, and you can see in 2 years how it's grown, and it's pretty impressive. Here we have a lot of different papayas, so pawpaw, and we have at least 5 different varieties of bananas as well. We have red bananas, we have small bananas, middle bananas, commercial banana, Cavendish banana, whatever. We have everything. We have also some ornamental plants and palms, because it's, I mean, the part of being beautiful also, it's very important, you know, it has to be captivating to the eye. And here you can see already the Annona moricata. So this one is 2.5 years and it's already producing. So we can see the first fruits are coming here of the Annona. So this is it's interesting. It's great to see fruit trees after 2 years. So these are our pigeon peas. So the beans that we introduced, the small ones that I showed you there. So this is after several years that we've used them in the chop and drop system, but at the same time we've also recovered the beans. We've been cooking them, eating them. We've been feeding the leaves to the field and to the chickens. So you can see this is jackfruit here, and we have a lot of oranges and different stuff. We have some sea grapes. We have the doctor, we call it Dr. Vernonia amygdalina, which we chop heavily all the time because we use this medicinally. So we make it into powders. The ground covers here that you can see, this is also a medicinal plant. They call it the electric flower, the Acmella uliginosa. So here it's working as a ground cover, but we can also recover this for medicinal purposes. And you can see there's a heavy layer of mulch always on top, and you can see it's decomposing here. Pretty good matter. So here's all the doctors that we've been chopping down as well. And as we go down, you can see that some stuff is germinating, but it's some nice soil, a lot of mulch, and this retains a lot of humidity. And basically, yeah, this is what's really helping us to have a good natural system here. This smells delicious. It's really very strong medicinal plant, Vernonia amygdalina. So this is anti-parasite, antiviral, antifungic, antibacteria. So basically it's good for most types of diseases. It's also good for hepatitis, it's good for hypertension, it's good for the liver, it's good for the cholesterol level, it's good for diabetes. And it attracts a lot of predators, you know, and especially bees and all this stuff, because they love this strong smell. So it's a beautiful tree. Let's try and pass under here. Here you can see a well-established orange tree, which is like 2.5 years. It's been grafted. It's already flowered once. So I'm thinking next year we will have a nice production. So yeah, great. We have the young pigeon peas. We have a lot of different varieties of coconuts. So this is the coconuts from Ivory Coast, the dwarf coconuts, yellow coconuts. We have the green coconuts, we have long coconuts. We have 4 or 5 varieties of coconuts. And we've been using a lot of the vertical layer. Here you can see the passion fruit. So this one, you see it's pretty big and it's still not mature. So this is it's pretty nice. So each time, because we don't interfere with the trees that were already here. So basically all the trees that were already here. Here you have an example. This is a Caicedra. So this is Caia senegalensis. So this is like a red mahogany tree. It's very medicinal, and it starts to be rare a bit because people cut it a lot. So these type of trees that are growing naturally here in the bush, we do everything to preserve them, to integrate them into the system, but at the same time we can benefit a bit from a vertical layer, like the case of the passion fruit. Here it's a younger area, it has around 1 year. So you can see the same system here with the passion fruit. using the vertical layer. You can see a small lemon tree coming from the side. And then a lot of bananas and papayas. We have some avocado. This is a bush tree, solom, also giving fruits. It's very nice. Then we have noni as a medicinal. Also, you can see the moringa has been heavily chopped, but it's coming back again. We have the blue vervain that we use to protect the garden a bit against the insects invasion. At the same time, it's a medicinal plant, so this is very good for digestive problems, so we drink this in teas. You can see a lot of papayas, very young papayas just coming out like this. So basically we harvest a lot of papayas. Heavily chopped doctor, as you can see. So we have a more shady area here. So we've introduced coffee. And we have some different tuberculous coming here. And you can see this is a pretty shady area, and here we have our coffee trees. So we have one here, we have several coming here under the shade. We have the Ginura procumbens, the Buddhist plant. This one is coming basically here. And this is also a great plant. I mean, it's a medicinal plant. It's good for hypertension, for diabetes, for cholesterol. Yeah, and you can just eat it raw as a salad. And so heavy amount of compost everywhere. Here you can even see a damiana is growing out of a palm tree. So this is crazy, you know, just because of the amount of compost that is lying around and the humidity. So we are in a subtropical area, but basically here we are creating a proper tropical environment. So we play a bit with microclimates. We have places that are a bit drier where we can use other types of plants, and then we can have some more tropical areas. So it's really interesting to see how you can really work with microclimates in a garden to have as much variety of species as possible. Yeah. This is a young banana field. This is 1 year ago that we started here. And, here you can see the bananas. This is our top layer. Then here you can see sweet potato. The sweet potato, this is our ground cover. And then also we have the ananas that we are planting a lot. So the idea is to have the sweet potato, the ananas, then the banana. And then we leave a line in between them where we have introduced our fruit trees. So here you can see these lemon trees. So eventually, if the bananas, after 3-4 generations, if they start to tire or something, well, at least we already have an established system of higher trees, and then the ground covers with the pineapples and all this. So you can see it's pretty diverse and pretty productive. So we are talking about production per square meter, and this is basically what is really interesting us at this point. So we've been introducing cacao, pineapple and coffee as a middle level into the bananas, and then we have well, all the citrus family that go for a middle layer, and then eventually we have how do you say, avocados and cashew and stuff that go for a higher level. So we would try to really work all the layers of a forest. So from the ground down, you know, like from manioc to sweet potato, coming down to ground covers, to all the different layers, and of course the vertical layer as well, as I was explaining earlier with the passion fruit, with mud, with different things. So yeah, I can show you a recent field here. You have to be a bit careful here. We're gonna jump. Normally we don't do this, but we do a small shortcut. So here you can see the new field. These bananas were planted just a few weeks ago, and so we're introducing now the pineapples. And here you can see this is cacao, cacao chocolate, and now they're putting the ananas in between. And so basically we are doing this whole new area here. So you can see we have some volunteers here that are helping us out. Yes. So these bananas here, you can see I brought them from a place where they were having a hard time. So basically what we want is we want to introduce the root system, and this is why I decapitate them so that the new leaves can come out nicely. So now they are looking pretty nice. They're starting to establish itself, and so yeah. So this you can see here on this side here, you can see all this is sunflowers here.
Hello.
So there's a lot of sunflowers, and you can see there's some types of how do you call it, squash or pumpkin. All this new area is being developed, and here you can see we jump one bed. So here we have full bananas as well as there, and here we leave one bed so that we can introduce in some different fruit trees, so to have as much mixed variety and cultures as possible. Yeah. You can take them off a bit.